Lisa, I think when people hear AI, they think of ChatGPT or Gemini, but I guess just to kind of backtrack a little bit, how much is AI a part of our lives so much already?
So much. And way more than people realize. AI, it's already doing things like it's helping detect financial fraud before it reaches our bank accounts. It's powering navigation apps like Uber, Google Maps, ways that reroute us around traffic. If you're using those, you're already using AI. It's already doing things like real time translation. It's also those personalized recommendations that you see from like Spotify, Netflix. That's all AI. And the AI revolution isn't coming, it's already here. And in a lot of cases, it's hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, yeah. And so what goes into the accountability behind it? Like who's managing, sort of the regulations behind it all and these data centers? Maybe we could start there. What exactly are these data centers that are housing these AI technologies?
Yeah, so data centers, the cloud, I'm here to tell you, it's kind of like a Santa Claus kind of moment. The cloud is actually physical infrastructure.
Mm,
It's servers, it's GPUs, it's power, it's electricity. And that's where data centers come into play because all these AI workloads that we're using, like some of the ones I mentioned, well, that all has to be processed somewhere, right? And so the more we use AI, the more usage grows, which it is, the more physical infrastructure we're going to need to support it.
mm,
And it's increasingly becoming this infrastructure race. Like one of the biggest constraints today is power.
mm.
We can build GPUs, to power it, but we can't build power plants or transmission lines or set up power grids really quickly. So AI leadership has to become more than just technology. It has to be about infrastructure plus energy stewardship plus earning public trust.
Yeah, yeah. And what are the implications for regular citizens like you and I behind the scenes as AI continues to develop and grow? Or are there ways that we could potentially be harmed by this? We keep hearing about all the ways that AI can benefit us. What are some of the harms to us that we could be experiencing?
I think that right now there's a lot that tech companies know, and there's a lot that they don't know. And what I'm advocate for, as is Aaron Brockovich, is transparency and accountability.
Mm,
So, like I said, if you're asking ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini something to look up, or you're running an application, that workload has to be processed somewhere. We don't know yet a lot of the implications. We do know that tech companies um, are working to release like Google, Microsoft, AWS
mm,
programs
mm,
to educate and inform citizens because these aren't small data centers. They're not small.
mm.
Many of them require a ton of land, power, cooling. So communities are asking really reasonable questions, and I'm pro AI when it's used responsibly and safely. But they're asking, what does this mean for energy demand? Usage, water usage, my utility bill, my property value. People want to understand how these projects could affect their region before they're operational. And that's where tech companies need to get better.
You bring up Aaron Brockovich's name. Can you tell us who exactly that is? What's the role that Aaron is playing within this AI world right now?
So back in the day, Erin Brockovich, it's a movie, Google it, Julia Roberts. She took on the Pacific Gas and Electric Company here in California and won over $300 million, really about environmental advocacy. So what's interesting that she launched just the other day is she's not attacking AI itself. What she's focused on is transparency, and I fully agree. Her argument is that communities, wherever they are in the US, they need to understand before these proposed projects are decided on. So what she's done is she's crowdsourcing a data center map in the US. And
Mm,
she's curating, it's not scientific at this time, but what it's doing is it's designed to give local residents that visibility, more visibility into what is being planned in their communities, give them a forum for public discussion, and it's all good. I think whether people support or oppose an AI project, Aaron's position is that they deserve to know about it early, and I fully agree.
yeah, I know you've spent 2 decades in this tech world. Where do you kind of stand on all of this right now?
I am on TV, done programs with you, radio, podcasts. When AI is developed responsibly, securely, safely, transparently, I'm pro. Being in tech, I I get to see every day use cases, right, where AI is driving innovation across really critical industries. One comes to mind, healthcare, also life sciences, education. So I'm here to tell you, we do need data centers to support this innovation, full stop. But I'm also pro accountability at the same time. I agree with Aaron, communities deserve that transparency at the proposal stage, not after these major decisions have already been made.
Yeah. And I know also here, Lisa, we've seen some states considering restrictions on AI center developments. I think there's a case happening in Florida now with AI data center. What's the latest on this? What do people need to know about that?
So I think what's becoming clear is that trust, it's as important now as the technology itself, and it has to be, as does the message. So we're seeing communities, they're demanding, we want this transparency around AI data centers. Lawmakers, they're pushing for greater oversight regulation. There is no federal AI regulation at this point.
Mm.
And we are seeing response from some big tech companies that I mentioned, sustainability initiatives, community engagement initiatives. The Florida lawsuit just dropped Monday of this week,
Mm.
and it's actually against OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. And I think what this marks as a big shift in the conversation, because it's not this lawsuit, it's not about copyright or privacy. It's about whether AI safety is it becoming consumer protection issue. And what I think is promising here is that the outcome of this lawsuit probably be a while down the road, but it could help define how much responsibility AI companies bear as these technologies just become more and more integrated into our daily lives.
Yeah. I know AI. It's looking every different every single day. Do you think that we've just seen kind of the tip of the iceberg right now? Do you think that it's going to continue to be developed and it may look very different here, maybe in just a year from now as it does right now?
Yes, yes, and yes, Adam. The speed with which AI is progressing is blows my mind.
Yeah.
I attend tech conferences all the time and report on them for companies, NVIDIA, for example. But here's an interesting thing. I like this as a former NASA scientist. A lot of companies are exploring like some really fascinating alternatives to land. Panthalassa is a company, it's out of Pacific Northwest here. They're developing wave powered floating data centers out in the Pacific. There's other companies that are looking at underwater facilities that use seawater for cooling. There's even efforts, I love this, to develop orbital computing infrastructure in space powered by solar energy. Some of these may sound really futuristic, but they're actively being pursued because the demand for AI is growing and it's not going to slow down.
Yeah. There's so much more to unpack with this AI story, and like you said, it's just continuing to develop every single day, especially on the accountability end and where some of the rules and regulations behind all this technology is going. Lisa Martin, thank you so much for all of your insights and perspective, and thanks for either staying up late or waking up early out there in Northern
Both.
California. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.